I haven't inserted any dates. Jumanji, a game for those who seek to find a way to leave their world behind. Surely life in the wardrobe ain't easy, but it's better than living in the jungle. I think I see something that glitters in the net. Serves me right. Next time I'd better mind my own business. Catching it fresh is okay, but that's a bit excessive. Unfortunately, I wasn't that good in art history. He's painting 2 ships on the open sea, maybe during a battle.
Good God! Who goes there, prithee?
My name is Manny. Manny Calavera. Yeah, I am the Grim Reaper. I didn't want to scare you, Mr. Manet. Your reputation precedes you, you know.
Well, you flatter me.
But now, enough with the pleasantries. That's not why I'm here.
I guess my time has come.
Correct. But not entirely accurate. I could give you a second chance.
Anything, but spare my life. I beg you.
Add me to your painting, then. In the sea, possibly large and highly visible.
But that's a preposterous demand. It would be completely disproportionate. Not to mention that it would absolutely ruin the scene's pathos.
Do I take that as a no, then?
Forgive me, Grim Reaper. You'll have your wish.
How's the progress on your painting, Monsieur Monet?
Totally ruined.
Sorry, what?
Nothing.
I'll come back later. See you then. Not bad. Now you really have an aggressive look.
I have to admit it, I'm really pumped for it.
Do you think you can sing a metal song now?
Which one do you want to hear?
Do you know Knockin' on Ronald's Door by Plums and Roses?
I don't think I've ever heard of it, sadly. But the title reminds me of something.
Do you know Livin' on a Wardrobe by Bones Jovi?
I know the band, but not that song.
Do you know Born to be Rot by Steppin' Nut?
Never heard of it.
Do you know The Power of Death by Skinny Goes to Hollywood?
Wasn't it The Power of Love?
That was a song from the Back to the Future soundtrack. I don't know the name of it, but do you know a song that goes like this?
Oh yes, I get it. I love that song.
Are you ready?
This time, I really messed up big time. First, it should be lit, and then picked up.
Automatic lighting system activated.
What ugly mugs.
Speak for yourself.
Did I just imagine it, or did that head say something?
Nothing at all.
Very good. For a moment, I thought I'd gone mad. How can you expect me to talk to some heads in brine? They must have uttered their last words a long time ago now.
Too bad that doesn't apply to you, too.
All this pointing and clicking stresses me out. I should absolutely take a vacation sooner or later. I have the vague impression that someone here lost their inspiration. I didn't know how to name him. Am I right?
You didn't know how to name what?
You. It's your name.
No, I have no name.
Maybe it's precisely because your parents didn't know how to name you.
Perhaps.
So I'm right. That's your name.
I already told you it's not my name.
You should get yourself in shape again.
Why do you say that?
Maybe because you can't even get out of your burial plot?
I just put myself on a diet. I haven't touched a pizza in weeks.
Only because he devoured the errand boy too, last time.
What happened to your arm?
I was too hungry, and I bit it.
It must have really hurt.
But it was good.
I'm assuming you're a cannibal, then.
I make no distinction when there's food involved.
You don't mean to try to eat me too, right?
If they were all like you, I'd have starved to death by now.
Actually, you're right. I'm going out for a walk. Maybe you can join me later, okay? $1861. Pretty self-explanatory, I'd say. Black magic for daily consumption. There must be a reason it's been here for so many years without anyone picking it. It certainly cannot be said that they lived quiet times in the deep ocean. I can suggest a good beautician, if I may. So elegant.
Oh, God, what's that terrible smell? You must absolutely take a bath. Grab this.
Chapter 1. Witchcraft. How to curse your mother-in-law and live happily. Capture a wild animal to associate with the victim. 80% of readers pick a toad or a snake. Wait for midnight and the moonlight to baptize the animal with her name. Free your the animal, in open country. Your beloved acquired mummy will thus lose the power of speech. Remove the earplugs and enjoy the new silence. Achtung! Unfortunately, the above-mentioned witchcraft is not effective on wives and husbands. Chapter 2. Seances. How to satisfy your edible complex even if your mother left you. Sit around a table with other people who want to communicate with your dead mother. Therefore, avoid inviting your wife. Light up a wax candle in the center of the table. Create a circle, holding hands or touching with the pinkies. At this point, close your eyes and evoke the dead towards you. Some dead people don't like to talk, so prepare an alternative medium like a pen or a typewriter. Achtung! Always remember to avoid antagonizing the dead if you want to communicate with her once again, but mostly avoid antagonizing your wife. Chapter 3. Voodoo Practices. How to get revenge on the school bullies while keeping your distance. Recover some hair or nail samples from the concerned bully and attach it to a doll. Then place a voodoo doll in the center of a pentacle. Close your eyes and channel your hate on the bully. Imagining him with his head in the toilet increases the chance of success. If the ritual is successful, the doll will assume the features of the designated victim. Grab a needle or some pins to stick into the voodoo doll. Enjoy your revenge. Achtung! Don't damage the doll by removing its limbs or head. Keep out of reach of children. Chapter 4. Love Potions. How to get out of the friend zone and overcome restraining orders. Acquire a photo of your future love. You shouldn't have problems after so many years of stalking. Dip some rose petals and cloves in a water and red wine solution. Bring the mixture to a boil. After cooling, drink the love potion you just completed. Wait comfortably at home for his or her arrival. Achtung! Always remember to take proper precautions. Okay, negative thoughts. Nothing easier. All because of how easily I can project my complete hate of other people. Let's just hope this is the right time.
What do you want?
The bedroom on the upper floor is empty now, as promised.
Really? I'm calling my gang now. Be still her. Take the guys and go to the dump. Don't waste my time. I don't care what you do now. It's all fixed. Go now. Hanky Panky room is ready.
Wow, they couldn't control themselves any longer. He looks like the school bully who always pounded on me. There must be a serious lack of good players in this city. Somebody here seriously needs some Xanax. It's all ready. We can get started.
Where do you want us to take it?
Friday Avenue, number 13.
Do you have any idea how far that is from here? We're heading to the party. The best we can do is take it over there.
I'll settle for that.
Do you hear that? Let's move.
Moving this is proving to be much more difficult than I thought. You're really slow on the up. Inside there are just apple seeds, but if you really want them, the rust is not there anymore. It's empty.
Days, 6 hours, 42 minutes, 12.
Hey, honey, look what I have for you. So, you were a carnivorous plant guard. I have no idea what the combination could be. It's the most sought-after room of the party, that's for sure.
Be quiet, or my husband will hear us.
minutes, 12 seconds. That is when the world will end.
Congratulations! Great music! I don't think you can hear me.
Days, 6 hours.
Be quiet, or my husband will hear us.
Suddenly, it doesn't inspire all that much fear in me anymore. It's the survival of the fittest, big girl. Why open it when you... Thanks a lot for enlightening. Open sesame. Hocus pocus. Aloha mora. No, eh?
Be quiet, or my husband will hear us.
Days, 6 hours, 42 minutes, 12 seconds.
Not worth it. I finally...
Days, 6 hours, 42 minutes, 12 seconds. That is when the world will end.
See you later, Playboy Bunny.
See you later. A storm is coming.
Now I've really got to go, before I go mad as well. And we'll be screwed if at least one of us doesn't remain sane around here, right?
I'm here. Come. Come closer.
Am I wrong, or is he the alien that got lost? Look at Grant. Congratulations! I don't think he...
28 days, 6 hours, 42 minutes, 12 seconds. That is when the world will end.
The color would match the one on my sweater, too. I'm obviously joking. Forget it. Sometimes the best thing to do is not ask any questions. He's even scarier life-sized. I'm afraid the opposite could happen. Gross! There's still someone who insists on playing hide and seek? Certain people just don't want to grow up. What are you doing hiding down there?
How do I put this? I may have gotten myself in serious trouble.
Who exactly is looking for you? This room is a continuous coming and going of couples.
Actually, everyone. Let's just say that I've screwed up a bit too much recently.
You have all my respect. Further proof of the high esteem the fairer sex holds for rabbits. Cool your jets. Your firecrackers or your life?
Do you think you can scare someone dressed like that?
Not even a fly.
Now that I notice, I've never seen a more ridiculous Halloween costume.
Really awful.
I'm afraid I will just have to come up with something else. Nowadays, our generation is too desensitized by TV and video games. Thanks a lot, HBO. Grandma, 2 kids are out here making fun of me.
Is someone being mean to my little Ronnie? Brats. Don't worry, honey. Now Grandma will take care of them.
You should have seen their faces.
Days, 6 hours, 40.
Do you need some more bubble bath by any chance? I have a bottle of it here with me.
Okay, you can go in. You can lay it down on the bubble bath shelf.
The best way to attract likes on social networks. Maybe you're used to this? And here I thought you were the only one with such a low IQ. First rule for good personal hygiene, never neglect your own personal hygiene. Oh no, I've seen what happens in jail. I don't want to risk cracking my phalanges. Someone should really tell him not to use all those bath salts. Better leave it alone. The character designer of this video game must be slightly obsessed with robust personas. What are you doing locked in here?
I'm enjoying some well-earned rest. I work as a security guard at the city museum, so situations like this don't come around that often. Luckily, Ralph, my cousin, hates Halloween and offered to cover for me.
A security guard for the museum is really necessary on Halloween night?
That's what I told the union, but do you think they listened? Anyway, take this. To repay the favor of the bubble bath. It's a bit wet.
I don't even want to know where you kept it.
The museum is closed to the public, but you can enter with this pass if you find yourself in that area. If you go, let me know if that midget has everything under control.
It wouldn't be very polite emptying the water while he's still having his bath. It wouldn't be very... Not before he's done with his bath.
Be quiet!
Not a bad neck warmer at all. Expect something like this inside my next gift bag. I doubt you'd be able to cling to a big head like mine. Only thing missing was the poser dinosaurs. Accept defeat, Rex. You can never compete in a race with the velociraptors. Winter is coming. Isn't it a bit dishonorable for a knight to keep a shawl on its shoulders?
Do you have any idea how cold it is in this tin box? I am almost 1,000 years old now. I must think about how to protect my bones too.
Isn't it time that you retire after all these years?
I'd like that. Believe me, I'd like that very much. But unfortunately, the Duke has never paid for my honored services.
I never knew David Bowie recruited knights.
I'm not talking about the thin white Duke, but about the black Duke.
Ah, I see.
What do you want?
Do you like being a night watchman?
I'm filling in for my cousin, just for tonight.
Yes, he told me.
So you probably know I accepted because I hate Halloween. It gets on my nerves.
What kind of childhood trauma did you suffer to have such an aversion?
Once a guy slammed a gigantic pumpkin right on my head. It took 4 days before doctors could get me out of it.
Maybe that chair is a bit too high for you.
And to think it was the smallest one I could lay my hands on.
I suppose you needed a ladder to sit on it.
At least I can easily get to the console this way.
What about that heart rate monitor?
I'm a heart patient. I need it to check my pulse.
Maybe if you didn't drink so much coffee,
That's easy for you to say. Night shifts here are deadly boring.
Small, chubby, and a heart patient. Is there anything else?
Your sarcasm leaves me completely indifferent. You have the reigning national champion of the insult contest in front of you, in case you didn't know.
Nobody and nothing can beat my sharp tongue.
Show me then.
Do your parents have full-sized kids too?
Attacking my height. You can't think of something new?
From the look of things, the pumpkin shape on your skull is still visible.
Ugh! The pain it causes me to talk of that fruit makes me miserable.
Quick! Emergency in the Egyptian room!
The mummies must have woken up to mock your ugly costume.
You're too tense. It isn't good for your health to do all that plotting.
Said the guy whose carcass is rotting. I thought you were better than this. What a disappointment.
Your cousin wanted to know if it was all okay here.
Yeah, right. I have so many unruly visitors to keep at bay. What is he afraid of? The Anubis statues will come back to life?
This time, I'm sure I can do this.
Be my guest, newbie.
From the look of things, the pumpkin shape on your skull is still visible.
Ugh! The pain it causes me to talk of that fruit makes me miserable.
Do your parents have full-sized kids too?
Attacking my height. You can't think of something new?
You'll end up with bad posture if you stay so long in this place.
Anything's better than the sight of your ugly face.
You will never be half the guard your cousin is, that's for sure.
That's more than I can endure.
I've never seen someone with a tummy so large.
Still better than having just bones and cartilage.
All that coffee will kill you. Be careful with it.
It gives me the energy to insult till you quit. I thought you were better than...
This time I'm...
Be my guest.
You will never be half the guard your cousin is, that's for sure. From the look of things, the pumpkin shape on your skull is still visible. You have serious problems with halitosis.
You'd better be worried.
Don't you get bored looking at those screens so madly?
A little, but...
Perhaps your heart has been pierced by Cupid's arrow.
Just my luck he'd hit a target that narrow.
In my excitement of Star Wars The Phantom Menace, I couldn't stay in my seat.
Ugh, my asthma. I can't breathe.
Behind you, an aortic dissection.
Ugh, right in the chest with surgical perfection.
Your Netflix subscription has been hacked. Hey, Ralph, what's new? Ralph, I can't hear you when you talk so quietly. I don't want to be a know-it-all, but I remember these were used by the Native Americans, not by Egyptians. Perhaps it's the very last thing I need. It certainly cannot be said she doesn't know how to sit on that throne. You look like you're waiting for someone.
I'm waiting for one of my countless suitors to get the nerve to come forward.
What would keep them from doing it?
Exactly what I've been asking myself. I'm afraid everybody is too scared of my beauty.
The burden of being so beautiful, yes. What should this mythical Prince Charming be like?
For centuries now, I've been waiting. We queens too have certain needs to satisfy. I just want to find a good mummy to spend the rest of infinity with.
That shouldn't be so difficult after all.
Don't rub it in.
What happened to the pharaoh?
The servants found him dead, poisoned by the bite of a snake. I remember I was so angry with him. Not that the two things were connected, obviously.
Of course, of course. I have a dilemma.
Don't you think you're too young?
What?
You can't be more than 15. Well, it's true that my beauty transcends age after all.
Actually, I didn't want to hit on you.
Do you think I'm not attractive enough?
No, absolutely, you are. I didn't mean to.
You better.
I'll leave you to your undertakings, my queen. With such threatening bows, I can only imagine the effect it would have to face them on the high seas. Druidic potions, basically the equivalent of modern homeopathy. As much as the idea fascinates me, I should really give it up. A bit of lateral thinking surely doesn't hurt, but here we are getting into nonsense. The hammer of Thor, the god of thunder and lightning, as well as the public face of a hair product line. Maybe I might have the courage, but I for sure don't have the pure soul needed to lift it. Oars in their hands, and they go out to have fun plundering vessels.
In contrast to popular belief, the Vikings weren't just wild and savage people. Besides being great explorers and naval engineers, Vikings were gifted in jewelry and in the art of commerce. Furthermore, the women were more liberated and independent compared to their European counterparts. Vikings really cared about their personal care. They had a sauna once a week. They removed unwanted hair and used iron sticks to clean their ears. There were no ranks or grades. The commander was the captain of the ship. Warriors could either be common citizens or professionals. Among these combatants were the Berserkers, warriors sworn to the supreme god of war, Odin. Legend told that they were invulnerable. It is believed they consumed a specific drug made by alcohol, jalapeno, and the green secretion of the evil egg, one of the most lethal mushrooms in the wild. different from other populations, the Egyptians were perhaps the best known among historic civilizations. To avoid being redundant, we'll examine some of their false myths to offer some clarity. Tutankhamun, one of the most famous Egyptian pharaohs, actually reigned only 10 years and died at the age of 18. What made him famous is the myth of the curse linked to desecrating his grave. Lord Carnarvon, financier of his expedition, died 1 year before the discovery of King Tut's grave, while actually the average lifespan of Carter and all the other archaeologists was around 70 years. Also fake is the myth about the construction of pyramids. They were not built by slaves, but by paid workers. Since there was no currency, workers were paid with barter, especially bread and beer. Fantastic people, aren't they?
Hey Ralph, what's new? Ralph, I can't hear you. One of the first ticking bomb models. I suppose the percentage of severed limbs caused by the early explosion of hand grenades has drastically declined since their invention. I may have put the guard out of the game, but I remind you that the area is still watched by cameras. Surely the rodeo act that's both most amazing and inappropriate of all time. When I was young, I always dreamed of having one of these all of my own. And I still dream it now that there's one in front of me. Unfortunately, and I will not do it. I'm not 3 and... If I were you, I wouldn't make fun of that big Nazi...
Though the plant kingdom can seem harmless, there's an incredible variety of ways it could lead to your demise. In the Renaissance era, belladonna was used by ladies as eye drops to give a certain shine to their eyes, but its berries are potentially lethal. The oleander, one of the most common flowering plant species in the Mediterranean area, is poisonous enough to be avoided instinctively by the whole plant kingdom. Beware the classic health axiom of an apple a day. The seeds, if ingested in large quantities, can actually cause death. In short, if you're vegetarian or vegan, your days are numbered. Eat meat. Though, come to think of it, meat causes cancer. You all die. The reasons leading to the outbreak of the Second World War are various and complex. The conflict lasted for 6 years, from 1939 to 1945. The parties involved and battlegrounds fought were numerous too. After all, they called it a world war for a good reason. Therefore, what we propose today is a brief, intense, and pragmatic summary of the entire conflict.
Funny.
I got a D in history in junior high, so go easy on me.
Smooched by hundreds of ugly spinsters because of a ridiculous fairy tale. Man, I don't envy that guy at all. Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey. Hello, my ragtime gal. No, right? Monkeys are always so adorably irreverent. Don't even think about starting some strange snowball battle, I warn you.
It's a trap!
Sorry guys, but I can't fill my sweater with thorns. It seems to me he's short of breath. I warned you, but you wouldn't listen. Everything's fine in the botany room. The soldiers are still operational and in action. The Drakkar sailing is proceeding smoothly. Nothing to report from ancient Egypt. T-Rex keeps going with his training. No sign of any visitors. Why should I? I don't have the strength to counter still more stupidity with a witty reply. Wrong turn. Better not. How are the preparations going?
Damned if we aren't on the brink of becoming filthy rich!
I'll leave you to your work.
As you know, crime never sleeps.
This reminds me of the famous 1947 accident, but I'm not a US government agent. I wouldn't really know where to start. Better avoid problems. FBI, Officer Skinny. Walter Skinny. Finally, some really intelligent life forms. How are the preparations?
Damned if we are.
I'll leave you to your...
As you know.
Can I bother you for a second? I'd like to talk to...
He can't hear.
I'm afraid the chili pep...